This is my ISU project for history class. The Canadian Defence Department wanted a supersonic jet fighter to protect Canada from the threat of incoming high-speed, high-altitude Russian bombers during the Cold War, finding no jets which were available or in development. The Canadian aviation industry was asked if they could produce one. Only Avro said it was possible. They submitted a design for a double-engine supersonic all-weather fighter to the RCAF in 1952, the CF-104. On June 4th, 1953, the final design for the CF-105-2100 delta-winged aircraft was submitted to the RCAF. Wood and metal models were tested in wind tunnels in Ottawa, Buffalo, Virginia, and Cleveland. Then, 1/8 models were tested using rockets. The Arrow would have been an effective deterrent against incoming attacks, as it was a long-range interceptor which could maintain supersonic speeds for a long period of time. Other planes could only go supersonic for short periods of time during peak performance. On the 25th of March 1958, the first flight took place from Moulton Airport. It lasted 35 minutes, and the engineering department framed the first blank sheet as only 2 microswitches had a problem. It was also noted that there was no clock on the plane.
All I know is the way I feel. When it's real, I keep it alive. The road is long. There are mountains in our way, but we climb a stair every day. The lift is up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. The lift is up where we belong, far from the world below, up where the clear winds blow. Hang on to used to be.
High-tech jet fighters, everyone's a superhero, everyone's a Captain Kirk, with orders to identify, to clarify and classify, scramble in the summer sky, 99 red balloons go by. 99 red balloons go by. Dreams I have had, and everyone a red balloon. It's all over and I'm standing pretty in this dust that was a city. I could find a souvenir just to prove the world was here.
The plane was going to be a high-altitude, long-range supersonic jet interceptor, and the things that made it different were the high-set delta wings, the super-powerful PS-13 Iroquois engine, and the highly pressurized, compact, and advanced hydraulic system. The test pilot for the first flight was Jan Zurikowski. On subsequent test flights, there were only 2 crashes. and that involved the landing gear during landing. Delta wings offer more internal room for fuel and weapons. The large wing area provides lift at high altitudes while enabling a slower landing. This Canadian engine was the engine used in all testing of the Avro. This Canadian-made engine was the best of its time, and it was planned to be installed in the Avro 206. It was also wanted by other countries for their jets. For weapons, nuclear-tipped or conventional air-to-air missiles were to be carried internally. Part of what put up the cost of the Avro were the ever-changing demands for different weapon systems by the government. The Avro project was cancelled on the 20th of February 1959. This put a large number of people out of work and was the end of Canadian hopes and dreams for a supersonic jet fighter that was the envy of the world. Officially, the project was cancelled because it was too expensive and due to the change in type of threat from Soviet countries. The jet fighter was no longer needed as it could be replaced by intercontinental missiles, which would be more cost-effective. The surface-to-air missiles were supposed to replace the Avro as a defense against incoming attack. They were equipped with nuclear warheads, which Canada did not want to be used over their country. This missile was cancelled 10 years later. A week after the project was cancelled, everything was taken apart and destroyed. Nobody has ever taken responsibility for the destruction of the Avros, although some suggest that it was the RCMP and their worries about espionage that led to the destruction of everything. Here are some conspiracy theories that I found.
From above, bells are ringing and pushers finally come to shove. The door before me now is open just enough, and I'm sick and tired of waiting for dreams that never come and games I never played in, but still wish that I had won. I'm alive, I've got one shot. When they finally touch the ground, and the giant leaps so fragile shot, and I'm taking it to you. I'm alive, I've come to realize not a moment too soon.